Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Girivaradari, Jai Girivaradari, Jai Yashodhanandana, Jai Vraja Janaranjana, Jai Yamunatira Vanachari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Raman ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai. So now, because it's Shivratri occasion, so we will sing the song Lord Chaitanya sung in glorification of Lord Shiva. It's Shri Shivashtakam, and author is Shri Murari Gupta, who is one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Namo Namaste Tridasheshwaraya Bhutadinataya Mridaya Nityam. Namo Namaste Tridasheshwaraya Bhutadinataya Mridaya Nityam. Ganga Tarango Titabalachandra Chudaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Ganga Tarango Titabalachandra Chudaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Sutapta Chami Karachandra Neela Padma Pravala Budakanti Vastrai Sunrityarangavar Pradaya Kaivalyanathaya Vrishatvajaya Sudamshu Suryagni Vilochanena Tamobitete Jagata Shivaya Sahasrashubhranshu Sahasrarashmi Sahasrasanji Tvarate Nagesharatno Jwalavigrahaya Shardula Charma Sukadivya Tejase Sahasrapatro Parisamstitaya Varangadamu Tabujadvayaya Sunu Puraranjita Pada Padma Ksharat Sudhabhritya Sukha Pradaya Vichitra Ratna Garibu Shitaya Premanamyevadhyaharo Videhi Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva Ityadi Nama Mritapadamata Vringadipaya Kila Dukkahantre श्रीनारदाद्यै सततं सुगोप्य जिज्ञासितायाशुवरप्रदाय तेभ्यो हरिर्भक्ति सुखप्रदाय शिवाय सर्व गुरवे नमः। श्रीगौरीनेत्रोत्सवमङ्गलाय तत्प्राणनाथाय रसप्रदाय श्रीगौरीनेत्रोत्सवमङ्गलाय तत्प्राणनाथाय रसप्रदाय सदा समुत्कण्ठ गोविन्दलीला गानप्रवीणाय नमोऽस्तु तुभ्यं सदा समुत्कण्ठ गोविन्दलीला गानप्रवीणाय नमोऽस्तु तुभ्यम् एतत् शिवायाष्टकमद्भुतं महत् शृण्वन् हरिप्रेम लभेत शीघ्रम् एतत् शिवायाष्टकमद्भुतं महत् शृण्वन् हरिप्रेम लभेत शीघ्रम् ज्ञानाञ्च विज्ञानमपूर्ववैभवम् यो भावपूर्ण परमं समाधरम् ज्ञानाञ्च विज्ञानमपूर्ववैभवम् यो भावपूर्ण परमं समाधरम् यो भावपूर्ण परमं समाधरम् यो भावपूर्ण परमं समाधरम्। Om Namah Shivaya. Hare Krishna. Can I read the translation if time permits?
Yes, Mataji.
I perpetually offer obeisances unto the Lord of the 30 primal devas, who are the original father of created beings, whose character is gracious, upon whose head, which is created by the sickle moon, the Ganga springs, and who are a festival for the eyes of the Gauri, the fair goddess. I offer my obeisances to you, who resemble a moon of molten gold, who are dressed in garments colored like a group of budding blue lotuses or lustrous rain clouds, who bestow the most desirable boon to your devotees by your delightful dancing, who offer shelter to those who seek to become one with the transcendental effulgence of Godhead, and whose flag bears the image of the bull. I offer my obeisances to you, who dispel darkness with your three eyes, the moons, the sun, and fire, and thus cause auspiciousness for all the living entities of the universe, and whose potency easily defeats thousands of moons and suns. I offer my obeisances to you, whose form is brilliantly illuminated by the jewels of Anantadeva, the king of snakes, who possess divine potencies and are clothed in a tiger skin, who stands in the midst of a thousand-petaled lotus, and whose two arms are adorned by lustrous bangles. I offer my obeisances to you, who bestow happiness to your servitors as you pour upon them the liquid nectar flowing from your reddish lotus feet, upon which charming ankle bells ring. Obeisances unto you, who are adorned by an abundance of gems. Please endow me today with the pure love for Sri Hari. O Sri Rama, O Govinda, O Mukunda, O Shauri, O Sri Krishna, O Narayana, O Vasudeva. I offer my obeisances unto you, Sri Shiva, who are the monarch ruling over all the bee-like devotees who are mad to drink the nectar of these and other innumerable names of Hari, and who thus destroys all grief. I offer my obeisances to you, Sri Shiva, who are forever inquired of confidentially by Sri Narada and other great sages, who very easily bestow boons on them, who bestow the happiness of Hari Bhakti to those who seek boons of you, who thereby create auspiciousness and are thus the Guru of everyone. I offer my obeisances to you, who are a festival of auspiciousness for the eyes of Gauri, who are the Lord of our life energy, who bestow rasa and are expert in forever singing songs with eagerness of the pastimes of Govinda. The person who hears these great 8 prayers glorifying Lord Shiva with loving feelings and with great attention can quickly gain the love of Lord Sri Hari as well as transcendental knowledge, the application of the knowledge, and unparalleled, endless opulences. This song was originally sung by Lord Chaitanya and glorification of Lord Shiva. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much on this auspicious day of Shivratri. We are assembled here for the class, and today we'll be studying lesson 152. But before that, let me offer the invocation prayers. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं तजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जयतां सुरतोपङ्गर्ममो मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोज राधा मदनमोहनो दिव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमा श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गरसिंहासनस्थितौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलघुविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालीविषेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशीवटतटस्थित कर्षणवेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद. Now we will offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महापदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिसे नमः. O most beneficent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Chasa Krishnam Sangopangostra Parsadam Yagge Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. नाना शास्त्र विचारण के निपुणो सद्धर्म संस्थापको लोकानां हितकारिणो त्रिभुवने मान्य शरण्य करो राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजनान आनंदेन मत्तालिको वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, and Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of. because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. With this, I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. Now we will be studying lesson 152 today. But before that, let us have the recap of lesson 151, which was covered in the last session.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Sharat Prabhu. Sharat Prabhu. Absolutely, I don't have any qualification for doing any recap. It is just the mercy of Sharat Prabhu and Sharat Prabhu. I'm trying to do that. Please forgive me for any mistakes. Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with this, let us start. Hare Krishna, hope my voice is good.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Okay, let us start with the first theme. Okay, the we had a wonderful session from Sharat Prabhu on Friday. It was so nice. There are so many takeaways for all of us. So the theme is the Yadu dynasty returns to Prabhasa Kshetra. Okay, Prabhasa. Okay, so that is what we are seeing. So first, let us see the divine request for Krishna's return. Okay, so what happened on this? Let us understand. So I'm not doing any recap. Straight away, we'll go with the questions. So answers will be there in each of the theme. You just need to extract them and then need to form the question and recollect. Okay, what Prabhuji has explained. Okay, I'm not trying to do any recap. So what was the primary reason for Brahma and other demigods requesting Lord Krishna to return to his celestial abode? What is the reason? What is the primary reason for Brahma and other demigods and requested Lord Krishna, right, to return back? Yeah. So what was the reason? Anybody can try this. Information is there here. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Lord Brahma and demigods requested to Lord Krishna to return to his celestial abode because there was a disorder, and to maintain the cosmic order, they wanted Krishna to return to his abode.
So whatever purpose he came, right, that purpose is fulfilled. Yes, Mataji, that is what you're trying to say. Okay. So he has completed his earthly pastimes. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. So he has completed and this is the time to go back because he has done. Oh, sir. Okay. Whatever he's supposed to do, he has carried that. His mission is completely fulfilled. That is the reason. Okay. They are all requested. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So let's move to the next theme. Krishna's withdrawal of his Yadu dynasty. Krishna's withdrawal of his Yezu dynasty. This is the next thing. So according to this particular theme, what is Krishna's primary reason for orchestrating the withdrawal of Yedu dynasty? What is the reason? Why he wants to withdraw his Yedu
Krishna,
dynasty?
yes, Prabhuji. Krishna knew that these Yadus are very full of pride, and they will they will this will be they are the burden on the earth, and they will badly will use their power. So he and second, he also wanted to prove that Brahman curse and Queen Gandhari curse
Yes, yes,
to
yes,
be
Mataji. Wonderful.
true. So
Yeah.
that's why he wanted the withdrawal of Yadu
Yes, Mataji.
dynasty.
Yeah. They're much powerful than actually the demigods. The entire world also could be destroyed. Would be destroyed. Okay, without the direction of Sri Krishna. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. You give the right words. Thank you, Mataji. Let's move on. Thank you for your enthusiastic participation, Mataji. Yeah. Let's move to the next question. The Yadus being too powerful to be annihilated by earthly powers. Some of the points actually you have covered previously, but like why did Krishna recognize the need, okay, for the withdrawal? Okay, any other points anybody wants to share?
Even Brahma and demigods also were afraid of that Yadu's powerful nature and pride nature.
Exactly. Sharad Prabhuji has emphasized on this, their immense power and strength. Yeah. So much higher than even demigods. Okay. And there is a serious risk of cosmic order. Yes or no? Yes or no? Prabhuji also mentioned that particular point. So he understood all these things. And then he started winding up. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Moving on to the next one, that is overly proud of their invincibility. So what lesson, okay, this teach all of us, because he has withdrawn his own dynasty, correct? Yadu's dynasty. So what is that is teaching all of us? Prabhuji Smudaji. Prabhuji has explained. Yeah. Humility. Yes. Yes, Mataji. Anything
So,
else you want to add
Krishna,
little more, Mataji?
Krishna cannot tolerate arrogance in any manner.
Ah.
So he had to maintain the balance. He had to protect the earth, and at the same time, he knew that they were so overly proud that they will go on destroying the whole thing. Hence, he wanted to teach them a lesson and get them back. So even his own dynasty, he is ready to punish if they are on the wrong path.
Yes.
And the second point, Krishna wanted to illuminate the importance of self-awareness and urge all the beings to remain grounded in their spiritual practices, regardless of their achievements.
Yes. Wonderful points. Thank you very much. So he wants to maintain that dharma. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Let us move on to the next slide. Slide 3. So here the theme is facilitating purification and spiritual transition. Facilitating purification and spiritual transition. So how did Krishna facilitate the purification and spiritual transition for Yadus? We discussed in length, yeah, on that day. So how did Krishna facilitate?
He asked them to get engaged in the ritualistic practices at the Prabhas Kshetra. So,
Yes.
so that they can be, purified at least before leaving the planet.
Yes. Yeah. Engage in the rituals in Prabhasa Kshetra. Yeah. Okay. And towards, okay, self-centered. Okay. Have the inward journey. Yeah. And so that like it will reduce the material attachment and pride. Yes, Mataji? Yeah. That's what you're trying to say. Wonderful. Wonderful, Mataji. Thank you very much. So next one, we are moving to 5.2. That is Krishna's brilliant design for a dignified departure. So what was his approach on this particular dignified departure for all the Yatus? Okay, Mataji. Some of the points you covered, Mataji, but like any other points you want to cover as part of this?
So basically, all they were doing is they were performing all virtuous activities like giving charity and introspection and devotion and all that. So they hence in this way Krishna actually thought of this plan of so that while if they are going, at least they should go in a dignified manner. So these activities will not only purify them but also create little bit of peace around.
Yes, Pankaj. Yeah, very valuable. Thank you. So one
And
word,
second,
Prabhuji
he
said.
wanted
Yeah.
to safeguard against the this from this violent end. He did not want this type of end of Yadus.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
to
yeah.
establish
Thank
that
you, Mataji.
everyone should face at the end of life with a profound reverence and mindfulness so as to facilitate a graceful transition for the spiritual journey.
Mataji, your voice is not that clear, Mataji. At least I am not able to hear. Uh, uh, okay. Maybe I think she will be moving to near where the signal is better. The Mataji is moving. So one word which Prabhuji has used, which is I liked it so much on that day, Friday. So Sarah Prabhuji said he has created a structured environment for introspection, for a self-introspection point of view. Yeah. So that is what he has done on that. He has requested them to move to Prabhasa Kshetra and do all these activities. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's move to next theme, that is 5.3. Okay, that is the imperative of humility. So, how did Krishna's encouragement for the Yadus to engage in the rituals in Prabhasa Kshetra? Any other points you want to add? How did he encourage? How did go ahead, Mataji.
He wanted Yadus to by this Prabhas, the Yadu confront their inherent dependence on Krishna and the divine order, and a false sense of incivility that they might have developed to remove.
Yes.
He wanted to remove that.
Yes, 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 yes.
He also
Yes,
wanted
Mataji.
to teach them that true strength is not in arrogance or destruction or being proud of one's strength, but true strength lies in absolute humility.
Absolute humility. On top of that, Mataji, Sharad Prabhuji has mentioned dependence on Krishna and the
Dependence on
divine.
Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he also explained that particular point. Yeah.
And humility
Yeah.
won't come also without this particular surrender or dependence
Absolutely.
on Krishna.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, wonderful point. Thank you. So, moving on to the next thing, that is upholding cosmic order. So, anybody wants to explain how guidance contribute to the cosmic balance? Oh, how this guidance contributed to the cosmic order?
So
These
if
all is guidance,
everybody
whatever happens.
submits to the instructions of the gurus, sadhu, and shastra, then the cosmic order can be maintained. Otherwise,
Perfect.
like if you act whimsically and do whatever you want, then obviously there will be an imbalance. So to maintain dharma, Lord plays a very important role. He comes every time to establish dharma and teach us and guides us to walk always on the path of righteousness.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let us move. I just need 10 more minutes of engagement, your engagement, please. Just a few more questions. Okay. So moving on to the next theme, that is divine manifestation and perception. So, okay, what is Krishna's divine form and how can one truly perceive it? Okay, there is a lot of explanation here on his form and all that. Okay, Prabhuji has explained. What is his theme? Talk about the Krishna's divine form and how can one truly perceive it? It's like demigods has a deep desire. Yeah, to see Krishna.
He is the ultimate reality and the ultimate controller. and he transcends the material realm, and that is his divine manifestation. That he is unparalleled. Nobody can reach him or touch his power or control.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Genuine realization of divine and through unwavering devotion and by a purified heart.
Yeah, very good point. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Moving on to the next theme, that is power of devotion. So anyone can try, okay, this particular question. So how did this particular theme emphasize the power of devotion, particularly in contrast to the material achievement or ritualism? How this contrast, power of devotion, how this is power of devotion is very different, okay, from the ritualism or material achievements.
Power of devotion is a bhakti. True devotion is a bhakti. That is the permanent, paramount, important path to liberation.
To liberation.
And
Okay.
also, it has love for Krishna.
Oh.
In what way? In what way? Please explain.
In what way?
That.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to ask. In what way? How?
With the faith in Lord Krishna.
By surrendering to divine. By surrendering.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying surrendering whatever devotion, but exactly what way Krishna is intending here?
Yeah.
It is beyond mere ritualism. It's not just ritualistic. It is beyond ritualism. You have to develop a connection of pure love with the Lord.
Okay. Yeah. So that will help for purification. Yeah.
Certain spiritual purification by this bhakti.
Yes.
Through
yes.
So
by doing all
here
that,
means what really means following specific directions that Krishna is giving us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are saying
there is a breakdown of what the Yadus were doing. Is total breakdown of what he instructed them to do. All right, follow it up. So afterwards, they all went to this particular holy place, and you know the history. Then what happened actually there? Okay, continue, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Moving on to the next theme, that is illusion energy and transcendental reality. So how does this theme explains the Krishna's relation with Maya, okay, which is the illusion energy, and what is crucial understanding of the reality that the devotee should cultivate? Anyone can try this. We discussed on this particular topic multiple times.
So illusionary energy is Lord Krishna's own energy, like Maya is Lord Krishna's own energy, and he uses Maya to, come into this world and creation.
Samantha Mataji, wait. You seem to be missing the whole point here. Well, we are talking about Yadus.
Okay.
And Yadus, who are Yadus? Krishna's own group, its own kins, and they are completely, totally on spiritual platform. So it's not Maya, Mahamaya, but Yoga Maya is working here. And remember, everything is happening exactly what Krishna has planned. Krishna had planned to withdraw from this planet, send back Yadus back to Goloka. All this thing is happening exactly as planned accordingly.
Yes.
So is the Yogamaya's bewildering potency, which works totally differently than Mahamaya operates with conditioned souls. Yadus were not conditioned souls. They seem to be bewildered by Krishna's own arrangement through Yogamaya potency. So you need to understand that point very clearly.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
The
So
whole,
Krishna
yeah, go
and
ahead.
his descendants. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Go ahead.
No, what I'm trying to say, it's kind of similar in a way, not exactly, but similar way in general aspect. The Mahabharata war took place. Remember, Krishna did want to uh, annihilate all the demoniac elements. The Mahabharata war was particularly designed that way. So all the demonic elements together were gathered and they were all going to be annihilated, right? Here the situation is a bit little different. The theme is similar, but in a spiritual point of view, Yadus were his own kins. They were not conditioned souls in a way. They seem to be bewildered, fighting each other, drunk, and all these things. That gives an apparent similarity to material platform, but they're not on a material platform. It was Yogamaya was working exactly according to what Krishna desired.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, Krishna wanted them to, finish the clan. So it was all planned.
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, it is impossible that could possibly happen. Just like Arjuna seemed to be bewildered in the beginning that he had to kill his, family, kins, and God, his cousins, Guru, and his grandfather, and all these things. He was momentarily bewildered, but that Prabhupada explains in his that purport in Bhagavad Gita that it is simply impossible. Arjuna is the eternal associate of the Supreme Lord. But he was put into that bewilderment again by Yogamaya potency, so Krishna's plan can go accordingly exactly.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So from a larger perspective, you need to understand all these things.
Yes, yes, bro. So even Krishna and his descendant are this material world. Okay, they are completely untouched. Okay, the Maya's limitations. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yeah, Haribol.
Yeah.
Again, I really keep apologizing, but I am interrupting. But when I think it is necessary, I must do my job.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu. That is
Prabhuji,
required. So that
it is required.
we will be get a better clarity on the theme, Prabhu. Thank you very much,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Please. That is required, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the next thing is the burden of pride and humility. So and what lesson does Krishna's intervention teach about humility? Okay. According to this particular theme.
No matter what the position, what is your like, even if you are elevated, like even if you're related to Lord, and if you're missing this very important quality of humility, still you have to bear the consequences.
Yeah.
I think can be more.
Humility and service.
So hence one should cultivate this particular humility, utmost humility. Otherwise, pride will ruin even the highest or the most powerful clan.
Yeah. Yes. On the day, Prabhuji also mentioned one point, the true strength actually emanates from the devotional service. Okay. That is not from the arrogance. That is also as mentioned. Thank you, Santamadash. Thank you very much. Moving into the next slide. Slide 8. The theme is transitional nature of material existence. Okay, that is the theme. So how this particular theme illustrate the transitional nature, material existence, and what lasting connection is encouraged in the light of impermanence. So what is this particular theme is talking about for us? Transition nature of material existence. How temporary this is?
I think it was mentioned it's like a drop in the ocean, and so it's so fleeting that it'll just go away. And hence one should have a think beyond the material existence, and develop a connection with something that is eternal.
Yes.
Connection with the divine connection with divine rather than this material attachment.
Yeah. Thank you, Muntaj. Yeah, that is good enough for this particular theme. Let's move to the next theme, that is purification through association and sacred places. This is pretty important. that is next question. Purification through association and sacred places. How the sacred places help all of us? Okay, or it helped the Edus or anything you want to cover? You want to say what is your experiences
Engagement
associating
with
with
the
the sacred
divine.
places?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Engagement with the divine through these sacred associations, pious activities, and to transcend material bondage,
Communal worship.
communal worship, all these physical proximity to divine significantly enhances spiritual progress.
Spiritual progress, these divine places. Yeah.
So a
Because
lot
how
of
God.
so lot of sacred activities are happening, and these places are already divine in itself. So when one connects to these places, we get purification. Plus, the sacred, the sadhus, the pure sadhus, they also further purify these sacred places.
Yes, yes.
Like even the holy places get purified by the sadhus. So association and plus the sacred place together can cause lot of purification.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Look at the last point C in theme 6, asserting that a physical proximity to the divinity significantly enhances spiritual progress. So that is the importance of this sacred places. Divinity personified is right there.
Yes.
And of course, his saintly devotees visit those places.
Yes.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Moving on to the next theme. Okay. That is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comments. So total we have 4 themes. Okay. Let's spend few more minutes. Okay. Maybe max 5 minutes, and then we will wrap it up. So as part of this, the first theme is divine manifestation and incarnation. So how did this theme, explain us Krishna's manifestation within the Yadu dynasty, and what key distinctions made regarding the presence on earth compared to any other divine forms? So there is something specific, on this particular incarnation. Okay, Prabhuji has explained that. Okay, actually this is not incarnation. What exactly is this has been talking about? Hare Krishna, anybody wants to try? Sanjeev Prabhu or anybody? Sapta Mataji, anybody?
Sharad, you also feel free to interject, okay?
Yeah. There is a key
coming through.
distinction.
Sharad, you please interact, okay? If we give them a chance, but things are not following up, then you and I need to interject,
Here in this
See,
point, manifestation, incarnation, even though the Yadus, they were from his family, they were his associates, eternal associates. They came for a specific purpose, but still then the Supreme Lord had to intervene in their activities. He was guiding them, like he asked them to go to Pravasa, do so many things, like cleanse themselves, associate with the sadhus, do sacrifices like this for their purification. And that is what is required. The Supreme Lord, he also comes to this material world to help these people who have actually come for his purpose. The Yadus, they had come for that purpose only, to assist him in his activities. Still, Krishna had to descend to restore dharma. How? Because at the end, what happened? When he was about to leave, he thought that such powerful people, they should not remain in this material world because there will be a danger. The demigods, they will be in danger. They can create anything. That's why this was a pretext to take them back to their abodes. This is the gist.
Thank you, Sarat
Yes.
Prabhuji. This is exactly what
Thank you, sir.
I was expecting, you know. Everybody understood that point? What Sarat Prabhuji actually explained?
Yes,
Haribol?
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So you need to answer straight to the point. Don't go around in circles, you know, because time is important. We need to explain something within a restricted time point and straight to the point, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is something that comes after practice, you know. Of course, it's not going to come overnight, but we all need to endeavor for that.
Yes.
Samita Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
राजकुमारी माता बहन जी आप समझ रही है ना
जी भाई जी.
ये कैसे आंसर देना क्वेश्चन को exactly relevant to that point and don't go tangentially. Tangentially means in the periphery, straight to the point, so that the audience who is listening to you can really get it. When you go round and round and round, the audience gets confused.
Yes, भाई जी.
I'm just trying to show directions how you need to be to the point, you know.
Yeah.
And when the Prasad Prabhuji, pardon me, when things that you expect it's not going through coming from the people you're asking, then you need to try some leading questions, you know, that they want to direct them to come to the answer you expect.
Okay.
You know how Samantha Mataji does that? She's wonderful in that. We should all learn, even including myself. I learn from the way she conducts these recap sessions. It's beautifully she does that.
Yes. So she gives some pointers. Okay.
Yeah. So something like that you also need to follow up, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. For some of the questions I followed, Prabhu.
Yeah, exactly.
Today.
I appreciate that.
I tried.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let us move to the last slide. Okay. So that is illusion, Maya, and reality. So how this particular theme, okay, explained the concept of Maya in relation with Krishna, okay, and in the material world. Anybody wants to try out?
Like it shows that Lord Krishna is engaged in the material world, but yet he remains unattached to it.
Unattached, untouched. Perfect.
Untouched by it.
Yeah.
And also unattached also because he is playing very good role as a father, grandfather, husband, perfect role, but still not being like, but we get attached. So we also have to learn that though we have to live in the material world for whatever limited time, but we have to be focused on the main thing, that is we have to develop divine consciousness without getting too much involved or indulging ourselves in our material relationships.
You hit the right point. Yeah. You hit the right point.
And who believe that Maya can affect Krishna? Krishna comes under the influence of Maya. Which people they believe?
Radhamas are
who are
people
not devotees, pure devotees.
Not devotees, yeah. Nastikas or Rakshasas feel that, okay, he is under influence and he is just like us. Okay, even Bhagavad Gita, there is one sloka, I think, 9.12, also talk about that, Prabhuji.
Remember the Mayavadi philosophers as we are learning from Govinda Bhash?
Yes, Prabhuji.
How Mayavadi's quote, they're saying the Brahman comes under the influence of Maya, which is the
Prabhuji in Govardhan Leela, even Lord Indra believed that he's a small boy. Even Lord Indra could not recognize.
Well, that is, of course, Krishna's Yoga Maya also is there. But what I'm saying that one has to really understand the finer points here, you know.
Yes.
Okay. Time is up now, looks like, right?
Yeah. With this, I have done. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
For intervening.
We are all learning by practice, you know. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
But you are all doing great job.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hi, Bob.
Today we'll be doing this lesson 152. Now we have entered into one very important aspect of Canto 11, starting from chapter 7, and it will be carried forward till chapter 29. And this is what is known as Uddhava Gita. Lord Krishna is instructing Uddhava.
Then we did the whole course on that, the Gita separately on its own.
Prabhuji?
We did the whole course on Uddhav Gita separate on its own.
Yes. And now this Uddhava Gita, as I told you, chapter 7 to 29. Now, why it is so important? What happened in the Kurukshetra war? Krishna was answering the questions of Arjuna, but that happened in a span of about 45 minutes, 1 hour period. Krishna was explaining in Sanskrit and Arjuna was also understanding, unlike us. There was no time because the war was imminent. War was about to be fought. But here, before Krishna left this material world, he asked the Yadus to come to Prabhasa, as we learned, and Uddhava also came. There was enough amount of time. And Uddhava asked many questions that we'll see in those 23 chapters. And Krishna answered them. That means if you have got anything, any doubt or any clarification on the Bhagavad Gita, everything will get cleared here. Now, here in this lessons 152 to 156, in this chapter 9, we'll be studying about Uddhava Gita, beginning with the Avaduta's 24 gurus. In today's class in 152, I'll be talking about some of the gurus. The balance of the gurus will be covered in the next classes. Then 157 will cover chapter 10, the futility of karma rituals, the ritualistic process, the karma kanda, why it is futile, why they are not required to be practiced, why one should practice devotional service. That will be spoken. Then 158 to 160 lessons, chapters 11 and 12, the conditioned and liberated jivas and sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, you see, we have been hearing everywhere, and in detail, Krishna will be telling about sadhu sangha, and he will also be talking about the jivas, the conditioned jivas and the liberated jivas also. And in 161, chapter 13, the Hamsa Gita. In 62 to 64, chapters 14, 15, and 16, the yoga system and Krishna's opulence. It is very important to learn to know Krishna's opulence before we land in devotional service. Then chapters 165, 166, the chapter 17 and 18, the Varnasrama Dharma. How, why the Supreme Lord created the Varnasrama Dharma and what is their duties, all those things we'll learn. Then the lessons 167 to 169 in chapters 19, 20 and 21, the Jnana, Karma and Bhakti, these are the three paths explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Here they will be explained in much greater detail. There are three paths only that you know, Jnana, Karma and Bhakti. These are the major paths. The another is the yoga. Now then, next lesson 170, chapter 22, the Sankhya elements of material creation. This is very important and very deep philosophy is there. Then lesson 171, chapter 23, the Bhikshu Gita. Charu Prabhuji will be taking that class. It is very important. And then 172, 173, chapters 24, 25, 26. It will discuss about the Sankhya philosophy, the gunas and beyond, the three gunas, and what is beyond that, and the Aila Gita. And 174 lesson, chapter 27, deity worship, how we should worship the deities. Then about Advaita philosophy in lesson 175, in chapter 28, and the final instructions Krishna is giving to Uddhava, that is contained in lesson 176, chapter 29. Go to the next slide. 152 and 153. Krishna advised Uddhava to take up sannyasa, but that is difficult for those attached sensually. What happened when Krishna was going? Uddhava also said, I also want to go because I cannot live without you. But Krishna advised him to take sannyasa, stay here in the material world, go to Badrikasrama and tell what has been told by Krishna to Uddhava. Disseminate this information. That's what was told to him. This we'll see in the 18 verses 1 to 18 in the chapter 7. Then from 19 to 31 verses, we'll see Krishna relates to how King Yadu, intrigued by an Avaduta Brahmana who was in great ecstasy but without material enjoyment. He met an Avaduta Brahmana, and finally the Brahmana in the next section it comes. He says, I have got 24 gurus, and what he learned from 24 gurus, this also will learn in greater detail. The other lessons I am not covering. Then go to the next slide. The first theme, Krishna advised Uddhava to take up sannyasa, but that is difficult for those attached sensually. Now, this sannyasa is a very, very difficult thing to do. You see, if somebody has lived in this material world, he has become a grihastha, and suddenly living, that is not possible. One has to make preparations for a long amount of time, because in the grihastha ashrama, one is attached to the senses, his senses, all the senses, they are controlling him, and suddenly leaving, that is not possible. That's why Krishna advised him to take sannyasa. Now, as we know, Uddhava, he was a disciple of Brihaspati. He had all the knowledge. Then again, he was taught by the gopis in the Vrindavana about Prema Bhakti. And Krishna has been telling him about various things. And now, finally, just before leaving, he told him so many things, which we are studying from chapter 7 to the 29. And all these things we'll be studying in greater detail. Then 19 to 21, Krishna relates how King Yadu was intrigued by an Avadhuta Brahmana who was in great ecstasy. He was very, very peaceful. He was very, very happy. He was totally blissful, but without material enjoyment. And the next third theme, Avadhuta's 24 gurus from whom he learned the science of the self. The pigeon is the 24th guru. That will be we'll study in the next chapter, next lesson. Now, as described in this chapter 7 of 11th canto, Krishna replied to Uddhava's prayer that he be allowed to return with him to his abode, that is Golok Vrindavana. But Krishna advised Uddhava to take to the renounced order or the sannyasa. When Uddhava was asked to take the renounced order of sannyasa, Uddhava showed interest in more elaborate instructions on various matters. And the Lord further described the Avadhuta's accounts of his 24 spiritual masters. So this is the prelude to why these 24 masters they came. And after hearing Uddhava's prayerful request to be taken back to his own abode, Krishna informed him that he was indeed desirous of returning to his personal abode, that is Golok Vrindavanam, because the purpose of his descent had been successfully fulfilled. He had done everything what was required, and the misfortunes of Kali Yuga would soon beset the earth once he lives. Kali Yuga cannot enter when he is present. Once he leaves, Kali will come, and Kali has a different schedule, different task in Kali Yuga. He thus advised the Uddhava to take up sannyasa by fixing his mind on the Supreme Lord, that is Krishna, and establishing him in transcendental knowledge. And the Lord further instructed Uddhava that while remaining untouched by contamination and disposed to all beings, he should begin wandering throughout the world and dissipate the knowledge that Krishna had given to him. And regarding the 24 gurus, the son of Yayati, as you know, Maharaja Yadu, he once encountered a Avadhuta Brahmana who was traveling about, but he found him in great transcendental ecstasy, and he was acting very unpredictably, just like someone who has been hunted by a ghost. Now the king inquired from the holy man about the cause of his wandering and his ecstatic condition, and the Avadhuta replied that he had received various instructions from 24 different gurus who are there that we'll see later on. Now, what actually has happened in the beginning, Krishna said to Uddhava, my dear, very fortunate Uddhava, you have actually accurately revealed my desire to withdraw the Yadu dynasty from the material world and return to my abode in Vaikuntha. Now, here in the very first verse, Krishna himself says that I am going back to Vaikuntha. Now, my question is, why he is saying this? Why Vaikuntha? Why he is not saying I am going back to, I and my associates will go back to Golok Vrindavana? This is my question to all the devotees. Why he is saying I am going back to Vaikuntha? Any thought about this? Okay. When you are thinking, I will answer this question. As you know, Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna is four-handed and his abode is Vaikuntha. And Nandanandana Krishna or Yasodanandana Krishna is in the two-handed form. That is what. But for us, the Vaikuntha and Golok Vrindavan, they are all spiritual planets. Okay. Thereafter, what happened? Krishna said that I have heard Brahma and the other demigods they praying me, and I know that due to the Brahmana's curse, the Yadu dynasty will perish by fighting amongst themselves. On the seventh day from today, when they were talking, he said, from the seventh day from today, and what will happen? The ocean will rise and inundate the complete city of Dwarka. The complete Dwarka will be submerged under water, and in near future, I will abandon this earth. Then Uddhava, he said that he told to Uddhava that you should not remain here on the earth anymore after I have abandoned this material world. And you are totally sinless. But Kali Yuga is also coming. Once I leave, Kali Yuga will come, and the people will be addicted to all types of sinful activities. Therefore, please do not stay here. You should completely give up all attachment to your personal friends, relatives, and fix your mind totally on me and should always be conscious of me. And he said that this material universe that you perceive through your mind, speech, eyes, ears, and other senses is illusory creation. It is my illusory creation. And one whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion perceives many differences in value and meaning amongst the material objects. Therefore, bringing all your senses under control and thus subduing the mind, you should see the entire world as situated within the self, who is expanded everywhere in the creation. And he said that one who has transcended material good and evil automatically acts in accordance with the religious principles. And one who is the kind well-wisher of all living beings, who is peaceful, who is firmly fixed in knowledge and self-realization, sees me within all things. One, the highest person, he will see the Supreme Lord in everything, in every atom of his creation. Then Uddhava said that you alone award the results of yoga practice. You alone are so kind that you distribute the perfection of yoga to your devotees. And that's why please be very, very merciful to me. I want to go back with you. But as I told you already, Krishna advised him not to go. Okay, let us go to the next slide. Now, the passage contains several key thematic elements that are central to the philosophy of bhakti. From bhakti point of view, all these points are very, very important. We'll see them one by one. In the philosophy of bhakti traditions, in the context of the relationship between the devotee, that is Uddhava, and Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And below are the identified themes along with their descriptions, rational and philosophical significance. All these things we will see. First point is separation and devotion. Now, Uddhava's deep anguish over the prospect of being separated from Krishna powerfully illustrates the profound emotional bond that exists between the devotee and the Lord. This is not the attachment we have for material things, for our relations. This is not that. The attraction between the Supreme Lord and the devotee, that is in a transcendental level, a connection that transcends the confines of being mere ritual. It is not ritualistic at all, it is not material at all, it is transcendental, it is spiritual, and one should have that relationship. There is nothing wrong in that. Then point B is overwhelming yearning for Krishna underscores the intensity of true devotion. He wanted to go back with him to Golak Vrindavana because he said, I cannot stay without you. What that means? That means he was truly devoted to Lord Krishna. He loved him so much, showcasing how authentic devotees experience a relentless desire for the divine presence, like the gopis of Vrindavana. When they could not see Krishna for some part of the day, they were totally restless because they were the greatest devotees of the Supreme Lord. They are the greatest devotees of the Supreme Lord. And this theme reveals that genuine devotion goes well beyond ritualistic acts. It encompasses a deeply personal and emotional link with the divine that nurtures spiritual growth and realization. That means we have to establish personal relationship with the Supreme Lord and emotional relationship with the Supreme Lord. We should love Him in some relationship, whether in Dasya, in Vatsalya, or Sakhya, or Kanta. Now, renunciation and sannyasa, we'll speak about this. Krishna's counsel to Uddhava to embrace sannyasa underscores the critical need for renunciation, particularly highlighting the complexity of this journey for those attached to fleeting sensual pleasures. As it happens in the material world, in Grihastha life, one is attached to fleeting sensual pleasures. All the pleasures which are coming, they are fleeting. They will stay for some time. After some time, they will not be there. The situation will change. But here in this case, Uddhava served Krishna throughout, and at the end, he is advising him to take up sannyasa. The call to take sannyasa symbolizes the recognition of the arduous but essential journey toward detachment. Now, this sannyasa, it is a very, very difficult stage in one's life. He leaves everything to which he was earlier used to, and particularly for individuals lacking devotion to Krishna. And if one does not understand devotional service, one does not have bhakti for the Supreme Lord, then one cannot leave the world just like that. He cannot be a sannyasi. Like in the present day world, you will find so many people, they are acting like a sannyasi, wearing the dress, but they are not actually sannyasis because they are still satisfying their own senses. It is not that. It emphasizes the commitment and struggles inherent in the path of bhakti. This sannyasa is also bhakti, and it is a commitment to serve the Supreme Lord, guide the people who do not understand Him, and it is actually a real struggle in the path of bhakti. And this theme draws a clear distinction between superficial renunciation and that which springs from true devotion. When one is truly devoted, then this renunciation will come automatically. One will not be attached to material things, but be attached to the Supreme Lord and His devotees, suggesting that authentic detachment emerges from love and service to Krishna. One should not only love the Supreme Lord, but render devotional service, menial service to the Supreme Lord, rather than merely through forced relinquishment. Now, I have been told to do like this, and I'll do this, then I will achieve my aim. No, that is the beginning, but it should come from within. Now, we will talk a little more about what exactly is renunciation, as given also by the Supreme Lord in Bhagavad Gita and explained also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has said that one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, and who works as he is obliged in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic and not the one who lights no fire and performs no duty. It is not that. And what is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme Lord. For one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. It is very, very important. That means if one has to become a sannyasi, then he has to renounce sense gratification totally. And according to this definition in Bhagavad Gita, renunciation is not simply someone who gives up external duties. A renunciant is one who gives up all personal selfish interest while at the same time working for Krishna's interest. That is the gist. And although all this, what is taught in the Bhagavad Gita, appear to address renunciation by the yogi, they also apply to a devotee also. The yogi and the devotee both practice renunciation, but in different ways. Both renounce sense gratification and both restrain the senses. The yogi, however, does this by sitting down in a solitary place while controlling his breath and refraining from all activity. And the devotee, what he does, a person in Krishna consciousness has no opportunity to engage in senses, in gratification of his senses, but he tries to gratify the senses of Lord Krishna. In other words, a devotee is always renounced because he always engages in devotional duty. Let us go to the next slide. The nature of reality. The passage poignantly reflects on the ephemeral nature of the material world. Ephemeral means the transitory nature of the material world. This material world is real, there is no doubt about it, but it is temporary. It remains for some time, and after some time it will vanish. Then again, it will be created by the Supreme Lord and it will come into existence. And this illusory energy, Maya, that ensnares living beings in the pursuit of sense gratification. Maya is forcing us to have sense gratification. And why it is so? Because after gratifying our senses for a long period of time, finally we'll realize that it is totally senseless, it is totally useless to do this, and we'll discard that. That stage should come. Now, Krishna's instruction to Uddhava to navigate the world while remaining untainted by its impurities emphasizes the transitory essence of material existence. Why Uddhava is being advised by Krishna like this? Because he tells that this material world after I leave, it will be in a very bad state because Kali will come. But still you should not, they should not touch you. And this theme captures a pivotal aspect of bhakti philosophy, recognizing the transient nature of reality. What we see as real, that is actually transient, it is for some time, thereafter it will vanish. And the need to focus on the eternal connection with Krishna to rise above material bondage. And how to rise above material bondage? We should realize we have a connection with Krishna. Actually, we are in such a condition because we have forgotten Krishna. Now we have to revive that connection. And that is what is known as Krishna consciousness. And if that is done, then all the aims will be achieved. And devotional practice and community, this point also we have seen many a times. Not that you should move to the Himalayas, stay in a cave and practice devotional service. No, stay in the community and together you practice devotional service, learn from each other, take strength from each other, and everybody will be benefited. Uddhava's realization that serving Krishna and sharing his divine pastimes can liberate one from material entanglement reinforces the power of collective devotion. If collectively we practice devotional service, we will progress in that path and everyone will become liberated. And this illustrates that communal worship, remembrance, and sharing the divine activities are vital for devotees and foster a sense of unity and mutual support within the bhakti community. All the important words have been come in this sentence, and it is very, very clear in if we practice devotional service in community amongst the devotees, not alone, remember the Supreme Lord, talk about Him, hear about Him, then it will bring a sense of unity. You will feel we are one only. We have got so much strength and we have got the support of everybody and we will be very, very blissful, thankful to everybody. It highlights the communal dimension of bhakti where collective remembrance and service are potent means for overcoming material challenge and achieving spiritual elevation. Our material problems will get resolved automatically and also will achieve our spiritual aim. Next slide. The role of the true guru. This is very, very important. In very many lessons we have learned this. Guru means what? In the disciplic succession. And true guru means what? He should have all the qualities what is given in the Shastras. And nobody is a better guru than the Supreme Lord. Uddhava's recognition of Krishna as the supreme teacher underscores the essential role of divine guidance in grasping the absolute truth. If we want to understand the absolute truth, to grasp the absolute truth, then divine assistance, the Lord's assistance is necessary. Regarding this, Krishna is the teacher of everybody. If you remember, Adi Shankaracharya's some verses, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Bande Jagat Guru. He is Jagat Guru. He is Guru of everybody, not only one person. Rukmini Kailisam Yuktam Pitambara Susovitam Abhapta Tulasi Gandham Krishna Bande Jagat Guru. Like this, the verses are there. It means Krishna is the Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of anybody and everybody. That's why one should embrace him as Guru. Okay, next point. This emphasizes importance of surrendering to a higher authority for spiritual wisdom. A devotee should never be independent. He should be under somebody or the other at every point of time. And when he goes to a guru, he is under the guru. He has to obey the orders of the guru. He is guided by the guru. There should be somebody above you. And if somebody is above you, then you will do the right things. That is what is being told here. And direction while acknowledging the divine presence within the guru. And who is the guru? He is the representative of the Supreme Lord. Sakshat Haritvena. He is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. He is not the Supreme Lord, but he is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. That's why if you disobey the Guru, then the Lord is not going to pardon you. One has to remember this thing. And one should remember this very important point about Guru. He is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. There is no difference because he is instructing us by getting instructions from the Supreme Lord. It comes, it is percolating through the Guru from the Supreme Lord to the devotee. That is what is his importance. And without the Guru's blessings, nothing will happen to a devotee. Devotee will not achieve his aim unless the Guru is satisfied, unless he goes through a Guru. If somebody thinks I'll study the Shastras, I will understand everything and I will reach the Supreme Lord, no, it cannot happen. It has to be through the Guru only. Then next point, it stresses the concept of divine grace and the necessity of seeking the counsel of a realized spiritual master, which is crucial for a devotee's progression along the path of bhakti. In the path of bhakti, the realized spiritual master, Guru, is a must. Now the next point, point number 6, compassion and universal welfare. Now Krishna's directive to Uddhava to be compassionate to all beings highlights the vital role of empathy within spiritual practice. One should be empathetic to everybody, not sympathetic. Sympathetic means by words only. Oh, I am so much, I am very much sorry that you are going through so this. No, not that type of sympathy. It is empathy means actual action. By action you show. And this Krishna is advising Uddhava to be very empathetic to the conditioned human beings and guide them. And this instruction to maintain compassion while striving for detachment illustrates the delicate balance between personal spiritual aspirations and ethical responsibility towards others. We have a responsibility for the society. We have a responsibility toward our family members. Please remember that if we call ourselves as head of the family and if we are not able to guide them to Krishna consciousness, to do devotional service, then we have failed and will also bear the consequences. That's why we should remember our own responsibility. It affirms that true renunciation does not breed indifference. Rather, it fosters a profound sense of responsibility and care for all living beings, aligning with the foundational tenets of bhakti. The renunciation is not that you keep aloof from others. If somebody is in trouble, you don't try to help him, you do not empathize with him. That is not renunciation. As we have discussed already, it fosters the sense of responsibility and care for anybody and everybody who is around. And in conclusion, collectively, these themes offer a rich and nuanced understanding of the devotional path accentuating the emotional practice and devotional and philosophical dimensions inherent in the relationship between the devotee and the divine. There is a deep connection between the devotee and the Supreme Lord. Now, thereafter, what happens? The discussion was going on between Uddhava and Lord Krishna. Then Krishna said that generally human beings can expertly analyze the actual situation of the material world and they should be able to raise themselves beyond the inauspicious life of sense gratification. And an intelligent person should perceive the world around him and act accordingly. And in human life, those who are self-controlled and those who understand the spiritual science of Sankhya can directly see me along with all my potencies. That is also possible. Krishna is telling Uddhava. And he says that although I am the Supreme Lord, can never be captured by ordinary persons, ordinary sense perception, but those situated in human life may use their intelligence and other faculties to directly search for me, and one day they will get it. And okay, then I'll tell something about Yadu also before I go to the next slide. Once Maharaj Yadu was wandering about in his kingdom and he observed a certain Brahmana who was Avadhuta. Avadhuta means he had no material possessions at all. He was also without any clothes, without anything, and who appeared to be quite young, but he also appeared to be learned, but he was totally fearless. And being King Yadu, being himself the most learned in the spiritual science, the king took the opportunity and inquired from that Avadhuta Brahmana. He said, I see that you are not engaged in any kind of activity. You eat if something comes to you, and if something doesn't come to you automatically, you do not eat. You do not interact with anybody. You are just lying down and doing nothing. And generally, human beings work hard to cultivate dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and all these things, but you are not doing any of these things. You are, however, very, very capable, as I can make out. You are learned, you are an expert, and you are handsome, and you are most eloquent, but not engaged in doing anything. And although all people within the material world are burning in the forest fire of lust and greed, still you are very, very calm and quiet and you are totally satisfied. We see that you are devoid of any contact with any material enjoyment and you are traveling alone without any companions. Therefore, because we are sincerely inquiring from you, please answer this. Now, this story is being told by Lord Krishna to Uddhava. Then Krishna said, the king Yadu then waited with bowed head to that Brahmana to hear. Now the Brahmana, he says that I have taken shelter of 24 gurus. Who are these gurus? The earth, air, sky, water, fire, sun, moon, pigeon, python, sea, moth, honeybee, elephant, honey thief, the deer, the fish, even he said the prostitute Pingala, the Kurara bird, the arrow maker, the serpent, the spider. Like this, he counted the 24 of the things as his masters. Let us go to the next slide. the role of the guru. Now, why this Avadhuta Brahmana had to take up so many gurus? Now, the role of the guru, the jiva soul embodies its own guru, illustrating that self-realization and inner guidance are paramount in the quest for the Supreme Lord. If you want to reach the Supreme Lord, one should be self-realized, and for that guidance is required. And guidance can be given by so many things, animate and inanimate things. That's what the Brahmana is trying to say. And this notion underscores the essence of personal responsibility in spiritual development. We should not think that our spiritual master is only responsible, the Supreme Lord is responsible, and I am not responsible. Not that. We have also got our personal responsibility toward us, toward the society, toward everybody else. Asserting that true wisdom is discovering within rather than solely through external teachings. Not that others are Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, they will teach us and we will learn, but we should ourselves also learn by seeing the Lord's creation. It highlights the critical importance of introspection and self-discovery in spiritual practice, inspiring seekers to draw profound insights from their own experience and innate essence. We should analyze our own experience and learn from that. And liberation through nature, Avadhuta draws wisdom from the natural elements, the earth, wind, sky, water, fire, celestial bodies, that is sun, moon, like this, and showcasing that enlightenment can be found in the world that surrounds us. Everybody is trying to teach us something. We should try to understand that. What all in very, very brief we will see. Then each element symbolizes unique facets of existence and spiritual understanding, illustrating that nature serves as an invaluable teacher. The nature which has been created by the Supreme Lord is a teacher to us. We have to learn from each and everybody. There is something to learn from anybody and everybody. And this theme reflects the deep interconnectedness of all life. Everything created by the Supreme Lord including the inanimate things and the jiva, they are both are connected, suggesting that aligning with natural principles is a pathway to liberation and enlightenment. We should realize that, we should try to observe that, we should then understand what the Lord is trying to say. Now, a word about what the Avadhuta has been learning. First thing he tells a sober person, even when he is harassed by the living beings, by nature, by anything else, he should think that he should not be distracted from progress on the spiritual path. And this, he said, I have learned from the earth. Now you see, people that dig the earth do so many harm to the earth, but the earth does not get angry with them. Now, what about a mountain? Essentially, person should learn from the mountain to devote all his efforts to the service of others. We get so many things from the mountain, and that is what the mountain is doing. What the wind is doing, now, although a self-realized soul may live in various material bodies while in this world, he is never entangled. Just like the wind, he should never be entangled in whatever situation it is coming. And that is what one should learn from the wind. The wind is covering anything and everything in this material world, but it is separate. It is totally separate. And what about sky? Now, a thoughtful says, even when staying in this in his material body, should understand that he is perfect. He is a pure spirit soul. Similarly, one should see that the spirit soul enters within all forms of life from one life to other. And the Supreme Lord is simultaneously present in all beings. Both the individual and the super soul can be understood by comparing them to the nature of the sky. Although the sky extends everywhere and everything rests within the sky, the sky does not mix with anything, nor it can be divided by anything. Then what one can learn from the wind? Although wind blows clouds and storms across the sky is never implicated or affected by these activities. And what about the water? Now, a saintly person is just like water because he is free from all contamination. He is gentle by nature, and by speaking, creating a beautiful vibration like that of flowing water. That is what one learns from water. And what about fire? I am telling you very brief so that you understand the next slides. Now, what about fire? The saintly persons become powerful by executing various austerities, and their consciousness is totally unshakable because they do not try to enjoy anything within the material world. And such naturally liberated sages, they accept foodstuff that are offered to them by destiny, coming on their own. They do not make any efforts to get them. And if by chance they happen to eat contaminated food, they are not affected. It is just like fire, which burns up contaminated substances and other things also, but still not affected by it. Then what about wood? Just as fire manifests different pieces of wood of different sizes and different qualities, the Supreme Lord who has entered the bodies of everybody, and the higher and the lower life forms created by his potency, appears to assume the identity of each. Now, what about the sun? Just as the sun evaporates large quantities of water by its potent rays and later returns the same water to the earth for use by the people like us in form of rain. Similarly, a saintly person accepts all types of material objects within his material, with his material senses, and at the appropriate time returns them to the material world. This is what one learns from the sun. Okay, let us go to the next slide. Selfless service. Avadhuta learns from the mountain and the tree, embodying the essence of serving others and dedicating one's life for their upliftment. Now you see the mountain or the tree. If you cut them, if you dig, you take stones from the mountain. The mountain is not agreeing, is not angry at you. Is not the mountain or the tree, they are not punishing you at all because their only job is to serve others. This emphasizes the transformative power of selflessness and service in spiritual life. This is very important. It affirms that spiritual advancement transcends the individual journey, profoundly incorporating community and altruism. Then impermanence of the material body that we have learned from everywhere. Avadhuta contemplates the transient phases of the body, birth, growth, decay, and finally death, and recognizes that those who do not they do not influence the eternal soul. The soul is not affected by any of these activities. This theme powerfully illustrates the distinction between the immortal soul and the fleeting physical form, encouraging detachment from temporal concerns. We should understand that everything is temporary. That's why we should get attached to the Supreme Lord than to these temporary things. It serves as a poignant reminder of life's impermanence, urging a focus on spiritual maturation over material attachment. And the next slide, the detachment from sensory pleasures. Avadhuta learns from the sun to navigate life without being enshrined by sensory distractions. While still actively engaged within the world, one should be engaged in whatever activities come are required to be, but you should not get engaged, should not get attached to them. And this underscores the difficulty of maintaining spiritual clarity in a world rife with temptations and desires. When other people are doing everything is going on in the society, there are so many temptations and desires come in the mind. Still then, one should understand these things very, very clearly. And it emphasizes the necessity for balance. One should make a balance. Not that one should leave everything and go to the forest. As it is, there are no forests nowadays. But one should make a balance, teaching that one can engage in life's richness without being overwhelmed, thereby nurturing disciplined spiritual practice. One should be disciplined in his behavior and caution against excessive attachment. What the Avaduta is trying to say, Avaduta issues a stark warning against the perils of excessive attachment, likening it to perilous fall from great heights. It is like falling from great height. That's why one should not be excessively attached. That means attachment to some extent is permitted, and that is natural also in the material world as a grihastha. There is no doubt about it. But one should not be excessively attached to anything else. This serves the sage's cautionary tale about the dangers of being overly attached to worldly relationships and possessions. It encapsulates the understanding that unhealthy attachment can lead to suffering and divert one from ultimate pursuit of liberation, encouraging practitioners to nurture relationships grounded in healthy detachment. Regarding this, when we see the example of the pigeon, later on things will be more clear. In conclusion, together these themes present a rich and holistic perspective on the spiritual journey, emphasizing personal experience, the wisdom of nature, the power of selflessness, and a profound understanding of the soul's eternal essence, while cautioning against distractions and pitfalls of material existence. Please remember that everything depends on us. If anything wrong is happening, it is because of us only. Nobody else, including not the demigods, not the Supreme Lord, not the circumstances, not the nature, not the other people are responsible for anything. We ourselves are responsible for anything and everything what is happening to us. Okay, let us go to the next slide. Okay, we'll have a 2 minutes break, and in that you can ask any questions or you can have any comments on that. Any comments or questions on whatever we have studied till now? You see, these are very common things we see every day, we experience every day, but how they are explained in the Shastras, that we should read again and again and try to understand and keep in our heart, and then only we'll learn.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, it is clear, Prabhu. Okay, nothing to escape. We have to do all duties and also do devotional service. Yeah. Yeah, that is a wonderful, that is the underlying theme you're trying to cover, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is clear,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Okay, we'll start with the next slide. Krishna Prema Bhakti. Yesterday also, we were listening to Charu Prabhuji in that presentation about Krishna Prema Bhakti. Now, what is being told here in this slide, let us see what is given in the Uddhava Gita as per the BBT purpose. Uddhava's expressions of profound love and devotion for Krishna are at the heart of these passages. Uddhava was very much devoted to Krishna. He loved Krishna. He was practicing devotional practice toward Krishna. And that is what is the heart of devotional service or bhakti. And his heartfelt plea to accompany Krishna to his eternal divine abode reveals the depth of his attachment and his fervent desire for eternal communication with the Lord. Now, if we also become like Uddhava and ask Krishna that we cannot stay in this material world because you are not here, we are not able to see you. If you are very, very sincere and if you sincerely pray to him and show all the symptoms, then surely Krishna himself will come, pick you up and take you to the material to his own abode. There is no doubt about it. That's why we have to love the Supreme Lord. We should be devoted to him, and all these qualities will come in us. Uddhava's unwavering devotion serves as a powerful example of the ideal relationship between devotee and the Supreme Lord, illuminating the central role of bhakti in transcending the limitations of material existence. What is there in the devotional service? There should be a relationship between the devotee and the Supreme Lord, and that should be a loving devotional service. And with that, the devotee should feel that he cannot live without the Supreme Lord, and that is the ultimate. That's what happened to the gopis, that's what happened to the Brajavasis, that's what happened to the Dwarkavasis. All the devotees, it happened, and you know what they got at the end. And this theme powerfully conveys that true devotion is the key to liberation and lasting, everlasting bliss, starking, standing in stark contrast to the fleeting nature of worldly attachments. It embodies the essence of Bhakti Yoga, illustrating a vital path towards self realization and union with the divine. The same thing is being told in so many different ways. We have to understand it is the devotional service which is most important, devotional service to the Supreme Lord, and that is loving devotional service. Now, immanence of material existence, the text compellingly underscores the transient nature of the material world, particularly regarding the Yadu dynasty and the city of Dwarka. Now we see this material world, the Yadu dynasty, who happen to be the relatives of the Supreme Lord perpetually. Still then, when they came to the material world, they have to had an end time also. They had to exist for some time. That's why they had to go back. The city of Dwarka was created for the devotees of the Supreme Lord, and that also had a time frame to exist. And at the end, it had to be destroyed by the Supreme Lord, depicting the inevitability of death and destruction. Death and destruction, nobody can avoid under any circumstances. And by illustrating the importance of life and the fate that befell the Yadavas, this passage urges readers to cultivate detachment from worldly pursuits and concerns. Now, think of the very close persons of Supreme Lord, the Yadavas, it happened to them, if they had to be eliminated, if they had to go back to their own destinations, that means there is no requirement for us to get so much attached to the material pursuits here. And this theme serves as a poignant reminder of the illusory quality of the material existence. Mama Maya Duraptaya. It is so difficult to avoid, nobody can avoid it, and emphasizes the necessity of focusing on spiritual truths, echoing the teaching found throughout various Vedic literature. So it is given everywhere in the Vedic literature. Next slide. The nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The text profoundly elaborates on Krishna's exalted position as the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Lord. There is nobody equal or greater than him under any circumstances, anywhere in the creation of the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna, he cannot create anybody who is greater than him, distinguishing him from demigods and the material realm. It highlights his omniscience, omnipotence, and the singular glory of his abode, Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, Golak Vrindavana, Saket, they are same, one and the same thing. And the Supreme Lord stays there in his many forms. and that is much different from the material world. The material world exists for some time, then thereafter it vanishes. Then again it comes by the will of the Lord. And by illuminating Krishna's divine nature, the passage reinforces the necessity of acknowledging him as the ultimate source of all existence. Everything is existing because of Krishna. And if he wishes, then nothing will exist. It is because of him. That means everything is dependent on him. And we are living by the ingredients given by him only, like the air, water, fire, the earth, all these minerals, anything and everything you can tell that has been given by him only, and no scientist has created them. And this underscores the concept of Vishnu Tattva, affirming Krishna's supreme status and emphasizing the vital importance of surrendering to him for genuine liberation, contrasting with the limited powers of the demigods. There is no requirement to approach the demigods because their powers are limited and they take power from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, we have to be surrendered to him, and self-realization and enlightenment. Uddhava's earnest quest for knowledge and understanding from Krishna reflects his desire to break free from material ignorance and attain profound self-realization through the Lord's divine wisdom. He wanted to understand from Krishna because nobody other than Krishna is capable of knowing anything and everything. And whatever doubts he had to clear from him only. And he is the greatest authority, there should be no doubt about it. And this thing illustrates the essential nature of spiritual inquiry. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. One should ask the spiritual master and he will answer your questions, and highlights the significance of divine guidance in the pursuit of true knowledge. The Lord can only give true knowledge and nobody else. It poignantly emphasizes that enlightenment stems from recognizing the supreme and aligning one's existence with the divine principles rather than relying solely on intellectual endeavors or material accomplishments. If one thinks I'll study the books, I'll understand them, I'll use my intellect, that is not the correct way. We should do what the Lord has said or his devotees have explained. The next slide. The role of suffering and detachment. This is very, very important point. Uddhava's recognition of the inherent suffering and distress in material life catalyzes his quest for refuge in Krishna. He was totally devoted to Krishna and he understood the faults of staying in the material world. His realization of the futility of material attachments fuels a deep yearning for liberation, and that's why he wanted to be liberated. But the Lord advised him to liberate others also by giving his that knowledge which he was giving to Uddhava. And this theme is crucial in it highlights the transformative nature of suffering, awakening the spirit and igniting the aspiration for a higher purpose. Now, this so-called suffering, this is also very, very important. Like the gopis, we see they were suffering because Krishna was not there. They were crying and crying. They were not eating. They were not maintaining their body. But please remember, that was only external. That is what is visible to us. But what is not visible was they were totally satisfied. That means if one is totally surrendered to the Supreme Lord, even if he suffers or we see somebody suffering, that is no suffering actually at all. That pain is far better, and it affirmatively aligns with the notion that suffering can act as a profound catalyst for spiritual growth. That was, you see, the suffering to the gopis that was required. That's why Krishna inflicted that on them and motivating individuals to seek their ultimate refuge in the divine rather than transient material pleasures. All pleasures in the material world, they are transient, but the transcendental pleasures, they are permanent. critical importance of association with devotees. The passage powerfully emphasizes the tremendous value of associating with pure devotee of Krishna. Not only devotees, but the pure devotee of the Krishna. If you can find, just by seeing him, all your sins will get destroyed, highlighting the benefit that arise from such connections in overcoming the illusions of material existence. The The theme advocates the idea that spiritual advancement is often nurtured through community and shared devotion. We should practice this in a community. We should share with others so that we learn from others and get the support of others also. It underscores the principle that collective devotional practices greatly enrich individual spiritual journey, emphasizing the importance of sadhu sangha in bhakti and cultivating the sense of community and mutual support. Sadhu sangha, we have heard so many times. It is so important. That's why we should associate with sadhus. And in conclusion, the thematic element encapsulates the rich teachings presented in these passages, reinforcing the critical importance of devotion, the recognition of divine nature, and the pursuit of spiritual knowledge as essential components on the transformative journey toward liberation. This is very, very important, and we have to realize that. Next slide. Uddhava's devotion and separation. These are Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comments. Uddhava's intense attachment to Krishna poignantly captures the emotional depth of bhakti. His heartfelt plea to accompany Krishna in the face of imminent separation powerfully reflects the yearnings of all devotees to remain close to the divine. If we are close to the Supreme Lord, and if we practice devotional service like Uddhava, then we will also get attached to him. And this emotional resonance invites readers to connect their own spiritual experiences. Uddhava's declarations of love exemplify the essence of bhakti, which is marked by personal devotion and profound emotional engagement. His deep reluctance to part with Krishna signifies the cherished bond that unites the devotee and the divine. He was so much united with the Supreme Lord, attached to the Supreme Lord, that he did not want to leave him under any circumstances. This theme powerfully illustrates that authentic devotion transcends the fear of loss and separation, ultimately nurturing a profound connection with the divine. And the nature and reality of Maya, the text illuminates the illusory nature of the material world, contrasting transient material nature in which with the enduring realities of spiritual truth. Uddhava's insights into Maya encourage readers to look beyond mere appearances. He understood what the Maya is and how it affects anybody and everybody. But please remember, only Yogamaya was affecting him and nothing else, not the other Maya, which affects us also. Because he is a permanent associate of the Supreme Lord, his body is totally transcendental. Reference to deceptive aspects of material life challenge us to recognize the fleeting nature of worldly attachment. This point we have seen so many times, and this thing emphasizes the necessity of discernment, viveka. We should have viveka in spiritual practice, guiding devotees to distinguish between the eternal self, the Supreme Lord, and the material, ephemeral world, the material world. And divine instruction and guidance. Krishna's role as Uddhava's teacher and guide highlights the crucial importance of divine knowledge for spiritual evolution. We should have Krishna's his teaching. How can we find? It is given in the Shastra. These are told by the sadhus and the guru. Now, the need for divine instruction, central to Uddhava's spiritual journey, underscores the importance of humility and respectability, because he was very humble and he was receptive, and that's why he could receive these things. We should have these qualities also. We should be totally humble and we should be receptive. and we should be totally firm in our commitment. And this theme profoundly illustrates the significance of Guru disciple relationship in spiritual progress. This is a must. Therefore, everybody should have a guru and should follow him, obey his instructions. The nature of God and his divine pastimes. Uddhava's reflection on Krishna's pastimes and attributes reveal the complex, multifaceted nature of the divine, showcasing Krishna as a both supreme being and intimately engaged presence in the lives of his devotees. He is the Supreme Lord, but he comes to this material world to help all of us because he is concerned about us. That's why we should also be concerned about him. And that is what is Krishna consciousness. The vivid depiction of Krishna's pastimes elevates the emotional and rational aspect of divinity, inviting devotees to joyfully celebrate and connect with the divine through remembrance and glorification. And this theme powerfully emphasizes that God is not only accessible, but He is also deeply concerned with His devotees' lives, nurturing a personal and loving relationship that fosters devotion and inspires practice of bhakti. Next, the transcendence of liberation. Now, here Uddhava's insights into liberation draws a stark contrast between the paths of jnana and vairagya. Now, if we practice devotional service, bhakti, then jnana and vairagya will be given automatically. There is no requirement for going to them separately. And what about moksha? The liberation in as a liberated being, a devotee wants service with the Supreme Lord. He wants to serve Him after this life and even in this life. That means one can be a Jivan Mukta also, one can be liberated after dying also. Community and association, Uddhava's longing to remain among Krishna's fellow devotees underscores the vital importance of community in spiritual practice. This we have seen in so many places, so many lessons, so many slides. Together, these thematic elements weave a rich tapestry of devotional spirituality, emphasizing the importance of personal relationship with the divine. We have to establish personal relationship with the divine. Then the next self-realization and intelligence. Now, the theme aligns profoundly with the foundational principles of Bhakti Yoga, asserting that self-awareness and intelligence are not simply advantageous, but they are crucial for genuine spiritual advancement. We should remember that. And the role of spiritual master, this we have seen in so many places, so many slides. Then the human form as a unique opportunity. Please remember that out of the 84 lakh forms, 4 lakh human forms, we have been given this opportunity after a long time. We should take advantage of that and try to practice devotional service with all our sincerity, and then only the Lord will be very, very happy to help us. This emphasizes the urgent necessity to engage in spiritual practice during human life, as this period is recognized as prime opportunity to seek the supreme and immerse oneself in devotional service seamlessly, aligning with the core objectives of bhakti philosophy. This we have learnt earlier also. Kali Yuga is the best yuga for practicing devotional service, and the search for the divine. The text provides an insightful exploration of the diverse method available for individuals seeking the Supreme Lord through intelligence and perception. We should use our intelligence, we should use our perception. And this reflects a foundational principle of Bhakti Yoga, which asserts that heartfelt devotion is enshrined by knowledge. We should have the basic knowledge. Otherwise, it will not be correct. Rather, bhakti will not be perfect. It suggests that sincere seekers must actively utilize their faculties to uncover and connect with the divine presence that permeates the universe. We should remember that the Supreme Lord is there throughout the universe. He is there to help us at any point of time, and thus we should practice our devotional service. With this, I come to an end of today's class. Now the time is there for your comments or your questions. Thank you very much. Yes, any
Hare
question?
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. And the one thing what I take away here is that Guru's importance, as you mentioned in yesterday's Mataji seminar also, in their Sampradaya also it is saying that we are Guru, importance of Guru, she emphasized on her explanation. And here also Krishna's teaching also says that the Guru, every Gurus we are learning one things. So 24 Gurus also, that is one takeaway, So without Guru, our life is useless. That is what we can take it from here, Prabhu. And it is not possible without the Guru's progress. I mean, it is not possible for us to progress without Gurus. That's what we can take away. I can just comparing yesterday's learning and today's learning, Prabhu.
Yes, like you see, even in the material world, a child has to be sent to the school. Now, if one is
Yes.
qualified, one can teach the child at home, but that is not enough. There are the requirement of Guru is there in the material life also, and in spiritual life it is a must. Without a Guru, one would not progress. And as I told you earlier, a devotee should never be independent. He should be under somebody for guidance. And because it is not possible to acquire all knowledge, and the Guru, he must have practiced or he must have done so many things in so many lifetimes. That's why he has become a Guru in this our lifetime. So that should be understood. And without his guidance, the mercy of the Supreme Lord can never be obtained. This has to be understood by everybody.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thanks for wonderful explanation. Haribol.
Any other comment or question?
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in the beginning, when you said that sannyasa, like, Lord insisted the need of sannyasa was to become detached from the material world. So, in case of normal human beings, it has to be through the grahastha ashram, because slowly and gradually you kind of start getting detached, or practice renunciation gradually instead of suddenly, like leaving everything. So, Prabhuji, even when you start off with devotional service, you are not, you don't like it initially. Gradually, it takes a lot of time to gradually start, like developing love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. That also comes very gradually as you are, you know, as you're reading, as you're doing sadhu sangha. So the process is very slow and gradual. So what does it depend on? In some cases, it happens very fast. In some people, they are even like, although they are sincere, it takes a lot of time because the purification takes time. So what is lacking in that person?
You see, it depends on where we are. Actually, we are starting in this lifetime from where we had left our previous life. Now, if one has progressed, then he has attained some level. Suppose somebody was in 10th class level in his previous life, he will immediately start from 11. If somebody was in class 1, he will start from class 2. If somebody had nothing, was in 0 class, he will start from class 1 in this lifetime. Like this, it depends on our previous background. that's why the things are much, much different for everybody. And that's why it takes time. But what you said is very correct. Initially, we do not like the thing, but the liking comes gradually, and we should carry forward it. That's why knowledge is also required. Unless we have knowledge, we will not understand why it is required. What happens, like enough number of people will argue if you talk to them, what is the requirement of worshipping the Lord? What is the meaning of going to a temple? What is the meaning of having prasada? Like this, very many people will ask because they are in that state and they do not want to change. If they want to change, they can change instantly. This is possible. Even if one has committed so many sins in his previous life, they can change. Yes, Prabhuji.
I think Samita Mataji asked a very, very important question here. Why some take such long time? Why some others don't? I think a guru's mercy, some sadhu's mercy, blessings, and the devotee's own efforts, how much he's really putting his own efforts, how much detachment he has developed from material world, all these things play a role in how fast there's a potential to really become far advanced right in this life. You should not depend that I will do in my next life. Do as much as possible to the very end of your life. That is what I learned in my 3 decades of devotional service, because I don't know what will happen in my next life. Hopefully things will, as Prabhuji said, and Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse, Krishna says, nothing is lost in bhakti. Whatever the level that you develop, you will pick up from that point onwards in your next life. But our goal in this life, we need to do the maximum potential. Look how much I've been struggling, and Krishna is supporting that. So devotee also must make ample effort to the best of his ability, and then Guru's mercy, Sadhu's mercy, all this play a role, and you attract Krishna's grace. It's within our power to attract Krishna's grace, as he has given his own teachings in so many different places. He is eager to help us if we make genuine efforts. So all these factors play a very important role, and do the maximum possible things right in this life. And this Vanaprasthashram is specially meant for this. Now, you don't go to the forest as they used to do in olden times. Vanaprasthashram, the whole perspective, has undergone tremendous evolution, as our recent acharyas have demonstrated by their own lives. Look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 6 Goswamis. They did not go to the forest and do things like that. They did all this thing wonderful work. The way they were ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to devote their time in whatever the learned teachings they had from him. The 6 Goswamis put it in a scriptural background, scriptural foundation they established according to the orders they received, and hold their life to the very end. They devoted that. We are not that level, obviously, and we cannot be. Nonetheless, we at least, so anukaranai, anusharana should be there. So that is how we make progress. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Everything depends on us only. We should be very, very sincere. And if we are determined to go to the spiritual world in this life, it is highly possible. It is extremely possible. There is no doubt about it. That's why.
Remember, somebody asked me that question in this webinar, right? This podcast. And you know what? How I ordered, I answered that thing. It's exactly, you make maximum efforts, then depend on Krishna's mercy.
Yeah. Prabhuji, and also like personal on the practical front, when we are practicing devotional service, there are certain days which are very conducive, like you feel like doing more and more. But on the other hand, there are certain days you don't feel like doing any devotional service. The mind is so opposing. At that time, how do you handle? Because it's like sometimes the mind just says, now it's too much, I can't handle it. Even in the case of or even after doing so many courses and being in sadhu sangha, the mind suddenly revolts and say, aaj ke liye bahut ho gaya, and this is too much. So how
This
do
happens,
you
Mataji, this happens to me all the time. When you are physically overwhelmed, then you have to take some rest, because you need to pick up from where you left off. So there's no point in just uh, you know work till you completely exhausted. uh, this happens to me, 16 18 hours of work and working through the night, sleepless night. Time comes when you get completely exhausted, nothing you can do that about it you know then what happened when I do my PowerPoints in the late night. Sometimes I type something and something else, it just goes haywire. Then I force myself to you know take a break. That you need to do that. After all, we have this material body. As long as we have this material body, we need to respect it. And this body is not our own. Remember, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami that your body belongs to me, not to you. So take good care of it.
So, Prabhuji, when you listen to your body, then you need a break. I mean, I take
So take it.
breaks like but in the forms of other activities. So will they not deviate me away? Like I would want to listen
No,
music. I would
no.
want to go out.
If there is sincerity of purpose, then you come back again. So
Okay.
I come back to resuming my PowerPoints with renewed energy. And the
Yeah.
ideas don't come when I want it. It's Krishna's desire. Whenever we want, we don't get it. It's up to his desire.
Yes, Prabhuji, you also mentioned that you do Sudoku and you do
Yeah,
gardening and so many other activities.
that is because of why? Because I have this genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's disease. My dad died of Alzheimer's disease, you know, and I am at that age. My dad left at around 84, I think, and I'm almost 80, and I completed 82. Now I'm in 83rd year. So I don't know how long I'll last through. So that's a sense of urgency. So you take it in a positive sense. Do the best that possible. What is the time available to you?
Yeah.
You work
Thank you,
as if
Prabhuji.
there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So don't be disappointed when you get overly exhausted. You need a little break. So do something that you like about it, something else, and then come back and resume it. You are doing pretty
Yeah,
good,
correct.
Samita Mataji. You have made tremendous progress.
No, Prabhuji. So,
It's very noticeable to me. You making tremendous progress. This Rajkumari Mataji, Raksha Mataji, look, every one of you, I've been observing you. What you were 2 years back, just reflect on that, what 2 years back you were there, and now what you are at what stage. Every one of you made a significant progress.
Yes, Prabhuji, that's all because of your efforts.
No,
You
it's not my effort,
insisted.
it's the Krishna's mercy, devotee's mercy, and we are all work together as a family. We are very close-knit family. Now we have developed, we have been close with each other for long enough now.
Yeah, Prabhuji, but
We
I
have
remember the
developed,
days.
exactly, we
remember the
developed a
days
bond, right?
we didn't want to cooperate with you. There were days you actually fight it out with us that, this is how it has to be done.
Sometimes in my frustration, I see how this recap session came into existence. Remember, I was both myself and Sharad Prabhu, we were struggling to a lot of you to participate actively. Now look how much progress it is we have made together. So everybody is, contributing significantly.
It
So
happens.
my time is up now. It's all of you to pick it up from this point. I leave to all of you is passing the baton to the next generation. I may not be around now. It's just a matter of months or maybe a year or more. That's all. Given my heart condition is getting worsening, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't want to alarm you at the same time. I'm just preparing you to be on your own. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. We'll try our best.
हरे कृष्णा भाई जी, मैं तो कहीं भी किसी उसमें कैटेगरी में नहीं आती, और मेरे पास तो जैसे ममता माता जी ने कहा कि कई बार ऐसे होता है कि ये छोड़ो सब क्या, वो मेरे साथ बहुत होता है।
सबके साथ होता है, सबके साथ होता है, क्योंकि हम सबके पास मटेरियल बॉडी है, उसकी कोई लिमिट है, मगर माइंड कैन ओवरराइड this limited capacity of the body. These daredevils, the kind of feats they perform, they defy the bodily limitations. So the mind is very, very powerful, and mind never gets old. Mind never gets old. Mind can force the body within the certain, but mind, it's within our hands actually. How much, don't let the mind control you, but you control the mind by abhyasena, yogena, by practice, and by detachment, vairagyan. So we have everything what we need is there in our shastra. Everything is there. So always be in association, like together we work like family. We help each other. So this Govinda Bhashya, it's really testing my own intellect also. It's very, very difficult. And all of you, I had a dual mind what to do about it, because, just PowerPoint alone is not going to be enough to teach this course. You need to read yourself on that actual Govinda Bhashya discussion, sutras. I can do almost so much in my PowerPoints, but the one who is going to do the teaching, one who is going to conduct the classes on Govinda Bhashya must read themselves the original sutras, the Govinda Bhashya, the commentaries, and that is what, unfortunately, I have to force all of you to do that. I still have a double mind. First, I thought there's just, why don't we just, Sharad Prabhu, myself, and Archana Mataji do 3 of us, but the subject is vast. This 3 of us is not going to be enough. Some of you will have to work hard and will have to devote more time, invest more time. And that is where, Samata Mataji, your question is very valid. You need to push yourself. So I'm still going to engage all of you, all my core team, okay? And going to force you to work harder, because every one of you are fully committed. That I noticed. Everyone are fully committed. Sometimes we get little diverted, and that's okay for the time being, okay? Take a break, whatever you need. But when your time comes to conduct these lessons, when I assign you particular lessons, you need to do a little bit much more than what you have been doing so far. Because this Govinda Bhashya demands that kind of commitment. The complexity and the magnitude this now I realize even this, I'm still less than 5% of the total sutras, but I don't know, this 48 lesson also might not be enough, because there's no point in rushing through at the same time, because this Vedanta sutras are real, the pinnacle of everything. All these 48 courses that we have conducted together is well beyond that. The sheer amount of knowledge of bhakti process is so vast. It's just incredible. Haribol. Okay, now we are approaching towards the end of the session. Oh, Saraswati, I'm sorry. I sometimes I take too much time in interjecting myself.
Any more question or comment? Okay.
No,
I
Prabhuji,
have
I
one
guess,
question, Prabhu.
yeah.
I have one question, Prabhu. It's like even though like we are practicing devotees, we do get so many problems from the health point of view, from many other things in the society, Prabhu. How do you know that like that is given by Krishna, or okay, and it is because of the prarabdha karma or our own mistakes? How do you differentiate, Prabhu?
Okay, you see,
Or we should take every problem as given by Krishna only?
when the obstacles are coming, we should understand that the Lord is trying to test us. We should pass the test. Like in this material life, we are bound to have health problems. No doubt about it. But we should still chant the name of the Lord and try to do as much as possible. Suppose one is not able to get up from the bed, then what he does? You take the name of the Lord. Whatever is possible, you do. You think that the Lord is trying to test me and I should do my duty.
We should consider that as a test, okay, by the Lord, all the problems whatever you're facing, and okay, and
set yourself a doable goal. That I must attain this goal, and you have so much time left. Ultimately, it's up to Krishna. And remember, he can extend our allotted time too. It's up within his purview. If you're working for him, for his mission, things will work out. But you need to invest more efforts, and temporarily, if you need to take a rest, take rest. That needed rest is necessary to rejuvenate yourself. There's no point in just working to the end, then you collapse. I realize from my situation currently I'm facing, is affecting my heart so much. Yes. So I need to take break, and I'm forced to take break.
Under these circumstances, we should know how to do that. Like suppose you are admitted in the hospital, you are in the ICU or some place where the chanting beads are not permitted. Suppose under that condition you have spent 2 days and you have not chanted, then what should you do? You should make up when you become well enough. Like this, you should be after the thing only. You should never leave. Okay, I was ill, I did not chant for 2 days, 3 days, I was not able to chant, therefore let it go and I'll start from the beginning. No, you make up with that so that your confidence will come up, you will be improved. Like this, there are so many ways, but under no circumstances, please do not leave the path you have chosen, because there is no path which is greater than this. There is no practice.
And we help each other.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Understood.
Hare
There is no
Krishna.
better. Okay.
So now let's conclude the class.
we'll conclude the class. By the way, Sanjeev Prabhuji is coming to my house at about 10:30 today. He is in the air. He is coming to Jagannath Puri. We'll be meeting him. And
Wonderful.
let us conclude the class with the Nrsimha prayers.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll do Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pranadaladadaine. Pranadaladadaine. Hiranya Kashipu Vaksha. Hiranya Kashipu Vaksha. Shilatanka Nakhalaye. Shilatanka Nakhalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Pahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Pahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapate. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapate. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Samantha Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Bhaiji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sarat Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Then we meet next weekend, means Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hari
And
Bol.
podcast is there.
Now it's not going to be podcast. It's not suited. I just convinced now to the temple, to the university president, and he agreed with me now. So it's going to be webinar. So the second part will be this next week,
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Thank you. So in the second part, I'll be talking about this, scientifically, the epigenetics and things like that.